Now, Tamsi, with predominantly blue states lifting the mask mandates, the question, of course, is being raised whether those decisions are based on science or more on politics. And Republicans, they're slamming the Biden administration for not moving fast enough to return to normalcy. But the Centers for Disease Control, they say, hold on.
We are not there yet.
Although New York and several other states have lifted their mask mandates, CDC Director Rochelle Walensky says the Biden administration is not ready to reverse its public health guidance on masks. Despite trends showing an overall decline in new COVID cases, she says data still shows
Our hospitalizations are still high. Our death rates are still high.
CDC guidance continues to recommend indoor mask wearing in places of substantial high transmission. With the nation growing more frustrated and impatient with the limitations created by the pandemic, President Biden has long promised to follow the science in confronting it. Some Republicans are critical of the administration for not moving fast enough to ease restrictions and suggest that current measures by blue states are politically motivated.
It is theater. Now, I will say this, it is fairly remarkable seeing even blue states recognize their policies are such a train wreck. Seeing these blue state Democrats intone the science has changed. No, the science hasn't changed. What's changed is the polling. They realize it's disastrously unpopular.
What they're moving on is based on the polls.
I reached out to members of New York's congressional delegation who see it differently.
The only thing that's politically motivated is Republican criticism of the president.
Congressman Richie Torres supports the president's cautious approach and the guidance he's offering states.
The president's guidance should say that if a state is past the peak in Omicron, then it makes sense to lift the mask mandate. That should be the guidance from the federal government.
Republican Nicole Malliotakis told me, we need to be cautious, but we also need to return life to normalcy. If the science shows something doesn't work, she says, it should be eliminated. You can't follow science only when it suits your political agenda. Responding to critics, the White House says polls are not directing policy.
The public is tired of COVID. We understand that. So are we. But our responsibility as the federal government is to rely on the data and the science.
The press secretary also noted that with more than 2,000 people dying from COVID in the United States each and every day, there is concern within the administration about easing restrictions too quickly. When pressed on whether Americans should follow less restrictive state and local rules, the White House advises stick with the CDC guidelines.